All right,
Wow.
hashtag WYG,
What do you got?
episode 1.
Episode 1. Well, because we had the teaser last time.
Yeah, we had the teaser because Build the House got canceled.
Yeah.
We did everything last week off our own dime. And this is the pilot. This is the
Yeah.
pilot, I would say, for hashtag WYG. What do you got?
Yeah, and fun fact, in the teaser, I actually went 3-0. The first undefeated week in More the Lock history on our show.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I know that I went 1 out of 3, or 1 and 2, but I did not calculate what the totals should be for this week, so I'll do that in the editing.
I know I'm 5-5 because I was 2-5 going into last week, and then 3-0. That means I won 3 games, lost 0 to put myself back to 500, which is still not good enough. But in your mind, it's okay. But you're probably still over 500.
I think I might be 1 over. Yeah. Anyway, I will do that towards the end of the show here. Kind of like just an okay week of football. I mean, I was at a housewarming party on Sunday, so I didn't really get to see like too many of like the games like in as in depth as I typically do.
Went to a housewarming during COVID.
Yeah, I know. Quite irresponsible of me. Sorry. It was we kept our distance. I only went to see the house. I didn't go to see people. I went to go warm up the house. That's all. Brought a bottle of wine. It was nice.
You bring the temperature up.
Yeah, exactly. It's good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Nice.
But
yeah, I agree. It was an okay week of football. Nothing really crazy stand out. I mean, some boring matchups.
Some upsets.
But yeah, some good games. There were some good games. But again, 3-0 and more the locks. So yeah, we can move to week 9. I guess this is. We're chugging along on the season.
We're halfway.
Yeah. I'll start off here with the Bears Titans game.
Wait, hold on. What about tonight?
Oh shit! We have Thursday night football. That's crazy.
Thursday night football. It was looking like it may be postponed because some people on the Niners got COVID, or
because they went to housewarming parties.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Don't put that upon me. It's actually we're 5 days out from Sunday, last Sunday, right now, and I feel fine.
Okay, but maybe you're asymptomatic.
Well, if I've always thought that the asymptomatic people, while they're the most problematic for the spread, are also like they're superhuman. So low key, if I am asymptomatic with COVID, then like cool.
Yeah, you're Superman.
I'm at work right now. I'm in the office right now.
Better not tell your coworkers that. All right, so sorry. My apologies. Thursday night football game, which this episode won't be out in time, but we'll just spread our picks on the Twitter sphere. We have the Packers versus the 49ers. Packers are laying 7.5 points on the road at the 49ers. Opened up as a 6-point favorite. There's also 63% of the bets on Green Bay. 79% of the money is on Green Bay. Joe, what do you got?
God, every time that we say that now, I'm just gonna have like a little bit of a smirk on my face. Anyway, yeah, we saw the Packers get a questionable line after, or when they were in Houston and they came out and dominated. I think this line makes a little bit more sense. They're coming off a divisional loss and upset. Dalvin Cook absolutely dominated that defense. The Niners also coming off of a loss to Seattle, but an expected loss, a down-to-earth game for them a little bit over the past month. I think that this is still a little too many points for me to be saying I would have preferred to get it at the open. I would have preferred to get Packers -6 compared to 7.5. But I guess I would probably still take the Niners by 7.5 regardless, because I just think it's a little too many points for them right now.
Yeah. I've been on the wrong side of the Packers the last 2 weeks. I think I had the Texans as one of my more locks 2 weeks ago, which was a big dumb move. And then because of that, I was like, all right, well, the Packers look good, so I'll take them versus the Vikings, who stink. But the Vikings just had Dalvin Cook run down the Packers' throats, and that was not great facing them in a different fantasy league. But anyway, yeah, so I think what I'm going to do here is psych myself out. And because I've been on the wrong side of the Packers, I'm going to pick this game like I normally would and then just do the opposite. So based on how the money is moving, I think I would take the 49ers on this one. I think 7.5 is a lot of points. But because of that, I am going to switch to the Packers. So I'm on the Packers. I'm going to try and buy it down to 7. But in my football mind, there's no Garoppolo, there's no Kittle, there's no Ayuk, there's no Debo. What do the 49ers have on offense? Absolutely nothing. Therefore, the real pick here is the under. Packers might win 45-0. That's still under. Plus the money, it's 57% of the money is on the over, and it's still dropped from 49.5 to 48.5. So that is my pick, the under.
I forgot about all of the injuries on San Fran. I'm switching. I'm going to.
All right, so we're both on the Packers, and that means we're both destined to lose there.
If you want to get in on an early, like on some early Sunday lines because it's Thursday, you tease the Packers down.
Where are you walking? Where are you running?
You're running to the window.
Oh, just run.
You're running to the window. You're telling the bookie, what do you got? Let me see the Packers tease down to a pick 'em.
And you might be able to tease with this next game.
Yep. Oh, yes. The game that you started with that we're now starting with for Sunday, the Bears-Titans. Titans open at -6.5. It's down a little bit to -6. Sam, what do you got?
I'm gonna do the same thing with the smirk. So 50% of the bets are it's 50-50 bet wise on Bears Titans with 78% of the money on the Titans, and it's still dropped to 6. The Titans are another team I've just been on the wrong side of every week. I actually had them in a teaser last week to avoid that big spread, and they still just flat out lost to the Bengals, who, by the way, still are a absolute covering machine. I just want that to be noted. Yeah, so I actually really hate this game. The Bears have been my more the lock for the last 3 weeks, and they've been 2-1 in that time frame. So I think I'm not going to make them a mortal log this week, but I think I just have to keep riding that Bears wave and go Bears +6 because I get fucked over by the Titans every week, and the Bears are good to me.
Yeah, the Titans looked bad in the first half.
Terrible.
Against the Bengals,
Terrible.
they couldn't get anything going. And I know you say that the Bengals are a cover machine. They are, like, statistically, it's just a fact. But I don't think that proves anything to their talent on the football field outside of Joe Burrow and his receivers.
They have a sneaky, decent defense. Their
Yeah.
defense has been getting better, just getting better, even after giving up 34.
I'm gonna ride with the fact that, like, so the Bears, they didn't play terribly last week. They probably should have won that game. And RIP to Carlos in the TFFL. That, I mean, I would
RIP.
I would be in bed for a week if I lost out on $10,000 in an overtime game that should have been won in probably regulation.
Yeah, that stinks.
I'm gonna take the Titans here. I think they have a bounce back game. It was a bad beat.
To be fair on the Carlos thing, though, he did have the Denver comeback against the Chargers, so that I guess it offset there.
True. But when you have those things work in your favor and the last game to end is the one that goes into overtime and your fate of 50 to win 10K is on the line,
should have put 5K on the same.
That's when you just like order a bunch of Chinese food, drink an entire bottle of wine, and stay in bed all day Monday, regretting everything.
I think I'd stay in bed for a week.
Yeah.
Plus COVID, you can't go outside.
Unless you're going to warm up a house. So, yeah, right. I'm taking the Titans because I think it's just a bounce-back game for them. And I don't think 6 points, I guess, kind of makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna ride. I'm gonna think that the Titans get it going this weekend compared to
You
what.
know what I might do? I might tease this up to plus 13 for the Bears.
That's good. You're not crossing zero. You're smart. That's smart.
But crossing zero worked last week, by the way.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember what the second leg of that teaser was. I just remember that the Bills covered their crossing zero. But yeah, so I think so first official pick, even though it's not more lock, is Green Bay minus a half point and Bears plus 13 on the teaser.
I like both of those. I
Yeah.
do like both of those. I will have to wait and see with the rest of the slate. I might not put the Bears in there, but we'll see. We'll see.
I also like the over in this game because this game has every recipe to go under, and I'm just going to take the over instead.
Yeah, and I'm not touching the over under in that game.
All right, so I will jump into the next game, but I have absolutely zero lines on it, so I'm just going to make it up, and then I'm going to look it up and see how close we are. Sports action just zeros across.
Yeah,
It's
same. So hold on. Well, let's go back and forth here. You say what you think the line will be, and then I'll either agree or say what I think the line will be, because both of us right now, as of this exact second, have no idea.
Okay, I think it is Detroit -2 and a over/under of 54.5.
I'm gonna go with. I'll actually go with. Ooh, Kenny Galladay's not playing.
No. And actually, Matt Stafford might not, which is why there probably is no line for this game.
Yeah, I think even if Matt Stafford's playing, I think I would still give the Vikings a little bit of juice here. I think that it would be Vikings -2.
Yeah, I was about to say right after I said that I could see either team being a 2-point favorite here.
Yeah, I think I would go with Vikings.
Being a 2-point favorite means absolutely nothing.
And then I think I would actually put the over/under at like 48.5.
Well, if Stafford's not playing, yeah. But let's look it up.
While you're looking it up, regardless of Stafford playing or Galladay playing, I think the Vikings want to win. And I think I said that last week about the Vikings Green Bay game where I took Green Bay and I said it wasn't even a question. That it's because the Vikings have given up on their season. They're selling, like they're getting rid of a lot of people. They might move on from Kirk Cousins at the end of the season. I think that they are the opposite of that. Like, I think that they think that they're good. It's not that they're actually good. It's that they think that they're good and they want to win. And I don't think I would care what the line is. I think I'm going to take the Vikings here, regardless of who's playing whatever the line is. I'm taking the Vikings.
You might switch your opinion on that based on what the spread is. The spread, after looking it up, you were closer on the spread line. I was closer on the over/under. The spread is actually 4-point favorites for the Vikings, which is wild in my mind. And then the over/under is 53.5. So I was only off by a point on the over/under.
Okay, well, I'm taking the under on that, and I think I'm still going to take the Vikings. I think that they can win by 4 or more.
Well, okay, so if Stafford's playing, I think I'd take the Lions because I still think the Lions actually care about how they're playing this season. And I do agree with you that the Vikings might as well, but like they have a lot less to play for. They're trading their entire defensive line. Like they just don't want to, really, really play football, even though their players care about playing football. And I kind of do like the over. These teams both terrible defenses. This is all if Stafford's playing. If Stafford's not playing, this game is null and void on my part. Just put a big X on it. Just null and void.
I think my real pick here is the under. Like I really don't. Regardless of who's playing, I think you take the under here.
Well, if Stafford plays, I like the over. If he doesn't, then yeah, I like the under.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens. That's going to be on you, the people, to determine what you want to do after you find out more news. You're not betting the game until 12:59.
12:59 and 57 seconds, just so you can still enter your password to make sure the bet gets in.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Giants, Washington football team. Ooh, what a great NFC beast matchup we have here. Washington football team at home opens -3.5. They are now down a point to -2.5. I'm assuming that's the public looking at what the Giants were able to hold themselves to against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday night. Sam, what do you think? Or should I say, what do you got?
So the Giants, there's 54% of the bets on them, but 86% of the money is on them. That's probably what caused the line to move down to 2.5. Again, we do these things early in the week, so a lot of the money that's on teams I don't really fully trust. So it's hard for me to make a pick here. The Washington football team are coming off a bye, which I don't know if that helps them or not. Underlying factor in why I'm going to bet what I'm going to bet in this game. Ron Rivera went through his last chemo treatment, and that's like life. And normally you never bet against death, but I think in this situation, you bet on the fact that someone was given life, and he's coming out of that. I like the Washington football team -2.5.
I agree with everything you just said. I love games where you can find some sort of storyline to bet on rather than like betting on the field. You're betting off the field.
Yep.
And yeah, I 100% agree with you. I'm gonna bet. You know what? You're just kind of you're an asshole if you don't bet on life.
Yeah,
You stink if you're not.
you are a supporter of cancer if you bet on the
If
Giants.
you take the Giants, you like. I mean, I don't know. You know what? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
No, say it.
I was going
Say
to
it.
say I was going to say you deserve to get cancer, but I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Credit to me for
It's
not
good.
saying
Yeah, it's a good thing you did not say that.
I didn't say that. So yeah, Washington football team -2.5 for sure. And I kind of like the over in this game, so 42.
Yeah, yeah, that's low. Yeah, that's low. I like it too. I think Terry McLaurin gets some touchdowns here. I think Antonio Gibson runs the ball pretty well. I think Daniel Jones gets in a 80-yard stumbling, bumbling run, and I think things go over.
Another real quick prop bet before we get into the next game here too. Washington football defense to score a touchdown.
Wow.
Book
Love
that
that.
up. Book
Love
that
that.
up. If you don't think they're not scoring a touchdown for their coach's rebirth of life, given granted life, yeah, you're silly.
They might score a touchdown in all three assets of the games: offense, defense, and special teams.
Love it. Love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Keep
I'm
it
all
up.
over. This might have to be a mortal lock.
Yeah,
Which is
I think
stupid. So dumb.
I think it's shaping up to be. I'm actually going to write that down right now.
I do like I love the Washington football team this weekend.
Yeah, and how much we love them really scares me because it is the Washington football team.
But that's because we're good people. We bet for life.
Yes, exactly. Bet on life. Next game, we got the Seahawks at the Bills. The Seahawks opened up as a 1.5-point favorite, are now a 3-point favorite. A lot of the bets, a lot of money on the Seahawks. 67% of the bets, 80% of the money. Over under has stayed tight at 55. Joe, what do you got?
So this is a script for exactly what the Seahawks have done week in and week out, outside of maybe last week, where they just keep things close. Like they have to battle to stay in games, and they either are the ones that come out on top with the last drive of the game or not. And I think that in this particular case, they are going to be able to sneak out a win, but I think it's going to be another nail biter for them, and the Bills are going to give them a little bit of a test. So I will be taking the Bills at home +3. I think that the Bills were able to, with the way that they were able to get out and beat New England last weekend. Well, it was more so New England lost that game. It wasn't that the Bills won. New England lost that game. I still think that the Bills have a little bit more life left in them. I think that they're able to take Seattle at home and cover this game.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be on the opposite end of you, but I don't like my pick. I do love the over in this game. Both defenses are actually dog poo. People don't talk about that enough. The Bills' defense is very overrated. It gets gashed on running plays. They just can't stop the run. And then I think Seahawks have enough weapons on offense to take out Tre'Davious White or whatever their corner is in terms of like, yeah, he'll guard one player, but the other players will be running free around the field. So um, I will buy this game down to 2.5. And for the Seahawks, I just think the Bills at home last week for the Pats, if you can only beat them by 3 points, when the Seahawks are much better than the Pats, I think the Seahawks can win by 2.5. The other thing I might do is I might go against your rule book again. Rule
I was
book.
I was actually gonna say that
I might.
if you were not a follower of the Joey Digest rulebook, then by all means cross zero here. By
Yeah,
all means, I'm not doing it. But if you're one of those people that do those types of things, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna judge
yeah,
anyone.
I do that, and then I'm gonna I do that, and I'm gonna take the Seahawks +4. And that would be back-to-back weeks against the Bills or with a Bills at home game that I've been crossing zero last week on the Bills, this week with the Seahawks.
If you hit that, and then if we're lucky enough to see you go against the rule book with the Bills again next week, then I will allow a notch, like an amendment in my rule book that says you can cross zero for Bills games.
With that asterisk in there, be like 3 consecutive weeks going across zero. Well, the only thing is that we do have to hope that the Bills spread next week is within 7 points. Otherwise, you can't cross zero.
Who do they? Hold on. Let me look at it. Do you have anything for the over under? 55 is a lot of points.
Yeah, I love the over. Absolutely love the over. Oh, next week
But
it's
then
versus the Cardinals. That's gonna be close too.
they're against the Cardinals.
What?
They're against the Cardinals. You said.
Yeah,
Okay. Um.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Although I
don't
would
think
have
that'll
to
be
cross
with.
zero with the Cardinals.
We'll see what happens. But all right. Ravens, Colts. Colts catching 3 at home. That line's now down to 2. Colts, they had a good game last week. I'm glad that I took them money line because otherwise I would have been really screwed in that game. But yeah, Sam, what do you got?
Yeah. I football Psalm. If I put on my football brain here, it would be all over the Ravens. I mean, I know the Ravens have looked shaky, but it was a 4 point game versus who might be the best team in the league right now in the Steelers, maybe. I mean, yeah, the Chiefs are an absolute wagon, but Steelers, very good team apparently.
Top,
Um,
top 3.
yeah, top three, sure. So the Ravens took them down to a 4 point game. I don't think the Colts are really in that echelon of top tier teams. But that's football brainstorm, and we all know that football brainstorm is dumb. Based on line movement bets, which last week 3-0 because of line movement bets on my moral locks. I think I have to take the Colts on this one. 60% of the bets are on the Ravens. 52% of the money is on the Colts. The line has dropped from 3 to 2.5. I will be buying it up to 3 because you just need that little hook on the field goal. Colts.
That's not enough money. That's not enough money on the Colts. 52%.
Well, it's because, but 60% of the bets. So you have to think of it, it's already a 60-40 split in terms of what the money should be. And then 52% of the bets, that means it's like an extra 12% that they're getting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with more of the fact of I'm gonna go with more of the football brain mindset here, and more so lean towards the idea that like, when would you in a normal situation, out like Vegas aside, like what Vegas likes to do to you mentally, aside, when you look at this line, like when would you typically get this line? I understand that that's why you want to be able to take the Colts, but I mean, yeah, this is the most buy low Ravens line that you could get. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
so that makes sense.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Why do they want you to keep betting on the Ravens by bringing it down to
They
2.5?
want me to question myself, which is exactly what like you're trying to make me do as
People are
well.
still betting on the Ravens. Remember last week when you did this with the Panthers and the Falcons, and I explained my story to you, and then you switched to the Falcons, and the Falcons ended up hitting?
Yeah, it wasn't those numbers were higher though. This isn't like that
No,
crazy.
that was literally a 2.5 spread.
No, no, no. I mean like the amount of bets versus the amount of money.
Yeah.
What I think it was like a lot more, and that's what made me move. This doesn't seem to be. I mean, it's obviously skewed, um, in the sense that they're asking you to take. They want you to take the Ravens, but I think it's like I'm thinking too much on this for what the numbers actually show in the line movement. Like, I'm still gonna take the Ravens.
Okay.
I'm taking the Ravens. I'm not questioning that one too much.
You should, but okay. On to the next game. We have Panthers at the Chiefs. The Panthers were opened as a 10-point dog. They're now a 10.5-point dog. There is 53% of the bets on Kansas City, while 67% of the money is on Carolina. Joe, what do you got?
Christian McCaffrey's back. Um, so I think that the Panthers are. I mean, they're a decent team. Fun to watch at times. When they're moving, they're moving. And I think they typically, even if they're struggling, they typically tend to keep things somewhat close. I understand that this is the Chiefs. I understand the Chiefs are at home. I understand the Chiefs are an absolute wagon, and they show no mercy. Shout out minus 19 and a half against the Jets. But I think that this is still a little too much for the Panthers, points wise. So I think I have to take the Panthers plus 10 and a half here.
Yeah, I don't really know what the money is telling me on this because more bets are on the Chiefs while more money is on the Panthers, and the line is still moving up in the favor of the Panthers. So that line movement, it's not even reverse line movement. It's fuck you, some you're confused now line movement. So I don't really like the spread at all. If football brain some is going to tease this game, I'm big on my teaser apparently this week, and football brain some is yeah. Go ahead.
Well, what way are you teasing this?
I might just tease both. I might just have two teasers and have the Panthers plus 17.5 and the Chiefs plus 3.5.
Okay.
Minus 3.5.
Minus 3.5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cause I
Yeah,
was just thinking, like, I don't know which way I would tease this.
because I could very easily see the Chiefs win this game by 20. I don't see the Chiefs losing this game. So I kind of like three. I kind of like the 3 points, but it's very easily the Chiefs win this game by 20, and therefore, if I had to make a pick on the spread, I am going to pick the Chiefs, but definitely buy it down to 10 because I need that. Can't have that little hook there. I don't like that. In terms of the over under, I absolutely love the over. I could not be more in love with the over. 52 and a half. These teams love either giving up points or scoring points. This game might be 44 to 30.
Public's all over the over.
Yeah, I can't fade the public on this one.
Yeah, I can't either. I would take the over as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
I
right.
don't like that game. I like the game like itself. I don't know. I'm starting to get a little like cloudy in my mind looking at those numbers. I don't really.
Yeah, I despise that game. That game will not be making an appearance on Tom's Mortal Locks.
No, no, I don't think it will be making on mine as well.
Next game, we have the Jags at home versus the Texans. The Texans opened up as a 7-point favorite. They're down to a 6.5-point favorite. Jags coming off a bye, I'm pretty sure. Joe, what do you got?
I hate this game. I don't. I don't want to. I want to touch this game with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about this game. I don't think I'm even. I think this is going to be the first game that I don't make a pick on. I don't like any parts of it. I'm not touching it.
See, this is what we should do on Jets games more often, but instead we talk about 30 minutes on the Jets. But anyway, I also hate this game. 6.5 really makes no sense in my mind for, I think we discussed this before, a one-win team this late in the season being a 6-point favorite. Somewhere else it happened, I remember, but this is even later in the season, and now it's a one-win road team being a 6.5/7-point favorite. It's mind-blowing. I think for that reason, I have to take the Texans. I mean, conventional wisdom would tell you to take the Jags here. 6.5. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. They should not be 6.5 favorites ever.
I'm not.
Even versus the Jets. I'm taking the Jags plus 6.5.
Okay.
But yeah, I hate that game. Next game, you go.
Cool. Broncos, Falcons. Falcons at home -4 open. Currently sitting at -3.5. Over under opens at 47, jumps up big time to 50. Sam, what do you got?
Yeah, the Broncos looked bad for like 3 quarters last week, and then the Chargers, who, fun fact, I had a lot of cash on money line, like rent payment money line, killed me, like absolutely murdered me. My heart was in my stomach. Um, it sucked. But credit to the Broncos, I guess, and fuck you, Chargers, for consistently blowing 15-plus point leads. You're like the new Falcons in that regard. Who the Broncos are facing this week. So funny how that circle works. I will take, just because out of spite, out of the Broncos breaking my heart, I think I need them to break my heart twice before I can forgive them. Like the two negatives make a positive. So I'll take the Falcons.
Yeah, I think that the Broncos are one of those teams where like they'll like be hot one weekend, cold another, kind of like the Rams, who I finally figured them out last weekend. Shout out Tua, and the Dolphins defense. But anyway, I think that you have to take the Falcons here based on the fact that they have an extra couple of days to prepare, based on their Thursday night performance last week in Carolina. The Broncos making the trip down south. I think that, yeah, like that one quarter, I'm not gonna bet on that one quarter for them to be able to cover here. I think, yeah, I would buy it down to -3. But yeah, I would take the Falcons here as well.
Also, the Falcons are just complete dummies. Like dummies. Like, stop winning. Like,
right now, what's that division look like right now? That's what, the NFC South.
yeah, it looks pretty good because you got the Saints and the Bucks, and then the Panthers are actually playing decent. But if the Panthers beat the Falcons, the Panthers would be sitting decently pretty. And now instead, the Falcons are just like, well, we're not going to win anything, but we're just going to win games because we hate our first round picks.
Maybe they're like playing for a coach. They're playing for a coach in the sense that no coach wants to go to like a team that has as much talent as the Falcons especially have, with them being like doggy do. Like, so maybe they're playing good to recruit a coach, like a good coach.
Think about this. You end up with maybe the number one pick. Like the Jets could beat the Patriots twice. It could happen. Patriots stink. One can hope as a Patriots fan for a worse pick. But anyway, Falcons sitting that one win. If they didn't win versus Panthers, you get the number one pick. You grab Trevor Lawrence. You trade Matt Ryan to his former coach, Kyle Shanahan, out in San Francisco for maybe a third rounder, and you're cooking again.
Yeah.
He's cooking stews over there down in Atlanta. Some gumbo. They like that.
They like that.
That's a Louisiana thing, but they still like that in Atlanta.
Yeah. The Falcons are just, they have too much talent to be. And when you really think about it,
think. Oh, yes.
Based on the amount of losses that they have because they couldn't hold a lead for their life in the beginning of the season. Like they should, their record is not indicative of how they perform.
They're doing this thing again. Last year they started out like 1-6, they went 8-8, and now again they started out 1-6, and now they're gonna go like 9-7.
That was Dan Quinn, though.
I know, and now
That
it's
was all Dan Quinn.
they're still gonna do that shit again. It's frustrating. Like, just fucking lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still both have them winning here, and they probably will. Next game we have the Raiders at the Chargers. Fucking Chargers. The Chargers opened up as a 3-point favorite, are now a 1-point favorite. 58% of the money, or 58% of the bets are on the Raiders. 87% of the money is on the Raiders. Over/under actually dropped from 56 to 52, even with all the money and the bets on it. Joe, what do you got?
Raiders. I mean, I can't bring myself. That was like a kick in the shin for not only gamblers but Chargers and Chargers fans alike. I don't understand why this game is in. If my field goal to the home team theory stands, this is a pick 'em regardless of the movement down to -1. Even at the open, it was a pick 'em. I don't get that, which means I should probably take the Chargers. But I mean, the Raiders are the better team. They went up into a gross weather game in Cleveland and took it to the Browns. They have to travel to California, their old turf. They'll be fine. The Raiders, taking the Raiders.
Yeah. There are a lot of games this week that I just don't like. Like, I don't know what to get a sense of, and I don't know if that's because, for time's sake and because we're both very busy men, that we have to run this, a little earlier in the week that I'd technically like to, but, we're credit to us for being busy people, attending housewarming parties, getting COVID, things like that. I don't know. I think I have to wait until 4:04 p.m. on Sunday to pick this game because I need to see more of the line movement and where the money lays. That's the only reason. Like, football knowledge saw him Raiders every time. Line movement saw him, doesn't know yet. I will tell you what, though, based on line movement already, I already love the under. 52. It opened at 56. 66% of the bets are on the over. 56% of the money is on the over. And it dropped points. That's a steep drop. So I'm going to take that under. I'm going to put that in as more lock.
Wow. Okay.
That at the end of the show.
All right. Steelers, Cowboys. Cowboys in Jerry World. 13.5-point underdogs. The line has not moved an inch. The over-under also has not moved an inch at 41.5. Yikes. Where are you going here, Sam?
I mean, 13.5 points is just not even enough. This should be a 24-point spread. The Cowboys haven't scored a touchdown in 2 weeks.
Zeke might not be playing this week. Hamstring.
Yeah, they're fucked. They are big fucked. I know they're replacing their QB. I don't know how much you can do with the replacement QB of a replacement QB of a replacement QB. Wait, did I do that right?
Why didn't the Cowboys why didn't the Cowboys trade for Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Because why win at this point?
It's the NFC East.
Yeah, but even if you make the playoffs, you're fucking yourself in like 15. Like, even if you win the NFC East at what, like 5-11?
They have good guys on offense, though.
No,
if they had a quarterback, they'd probably be the best team in the NFC East.
But even if you win, you're not winning the Super Bowl.
Jerry Jones, I find it very hard to believe that Jerry Jones isn't like one of those guys where if you start out the season 0-10, you're still like, oh, what can we do to change this? We don't give up. This is Texas.
Think of it this way: whoever wins the NFC East is fucking themselves out of like 15 positions in the draft. Like you automatically go from like 10 to 24. And that's dumb.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I think you're thinking along the same lines as I am, where it's like you don't bet against an undefeated team against one of the worst teams in the NFL. So you're
Yeah.
taking Steelers here.
Yeah, but I just remember the fact that the Cowboys are now 0-8 against the spread, and they have to cover one game, right? But this is just not the game.
Unless the Steelers go in thinking like they're hot shit and
The Steelers could walk through this game. To Jerry's window. They could walk through this game, and they would still win it by 1,000.
yeah, I mean, with that said, you can add this to your teaser like with no worry in the world.
Yeah, because it would be down to 6.5. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm teasing so many games. I'm going to write this down when I'm teasing. I'm teasing the Packers. I am teasing the Seahawks. I am teasing the Steelers.
You said the Bears too, I think.
Yeah, but the Bears I don't like as much.
Okay.
But I have to do it.
You're teasing the Chiefs, you said.
Oh yeah, Chiefs. This is gonna be a fun ass teaser. Maybe I'll do the special teaser, the 13.5 point spread teaser on this one.
There you go.
Make it a Steelers pick 'em.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah. Anyway, I like the Steelers. I also sneaky like the over because I think the Steelers could just score 42 points themselves.
I don't know about that. I don't think if they're up like 32-0 in like the third, there's not one starter that's going to take the next offensive drive.
No, but you know the Steelers, they're flashy as fuck, so they're like gonna want to score. Like even the backups are just like, yeah, I need to get my shine.
I think I'm going to take the under, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Anyway, going to the next game, we have the Cardinals at home versus the Dolphins. Cardinals coming off a bye, Dolphins coming off a big win into his first start. The Cardinals opened up as 4-point favorites and now 4.5-point favorites. 52% of the bets are on the Dolphins. 67% of the money is on the Dolphins. Joe, what do you got?
Yeah, normally I would say this is like are the Cardinals coming off a bye?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they are. Their last win was against Seattle, right? On Monday night, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would normally probably fade the Dolphins here after just demolishing the Rams. But because they're 4.5-point underdogs, I could see like a Cardinals field goal victory here. I think Kyler Murray is going to want to show up though because Tua is here to play, which makes me want to take the Cardinals. Either way, I think what I would do is take the over in this game.
Yeah, so I had to take last week on Tua. I said he stunk. I said he can't, he doesn't have the oomph on his throws to get balls in there and tight windows. He doesn't have the touch to get in there in tight windows that he's going to see in the NFL. And for the most part, yeah, the Dolphins won, but I don't think I was really proven wrong. Like Tua didn't do much. The defense helped out a lot, and Tua just handed the ball off to Gaskin. So I'm still waiting to see that, and I think this week will be a test for the Dolphins defense enough where they won't do the same thing that they were able to do versus Goff, and therefore Tua's going to have to show up. And I'm still going to wait for him to actually show up to prove me wrong. So I will take the Cardinals minus 4.5.
Yeah, four just seems like a lot of points right now in this game. But I do think that it's either – I think the Cardinals are winning regardless, so maybe take money line here since it is fairly low for a money line pick.
Like minus 200.
Yeah, I just don't like maybe what would you get it at? I guess, well, you'd have better odds if you just bought it down to 3.
Yeah, but it's still probably like minus 150.
Yeah. I just don't like the line here because it's either going to be a Cardinals win, but they're going to sneak it out and the Dolphins are going to cover, or it's going to be the Cardinals. Like I said, Kyler Murray's going to show up and absolutely like let the world know that he's way better than Tua. Um,
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
if it's against the rule, then no. But
You
you
might
might be thinking it.
you might have to go against your rule.
I mean, I think what you're ultimately writing down right now is that you're adding you're teasing the Cardinals down and crossing 0.
Oh yeah.
As a man who doesn't do that, it's in my rule book. I don't do that. I can't. I'm not going to do that
I
because
might
it's
just
in my
do
rule book.
a
But I'm not going to judge the people that do that in
I
this case.
I might just do a Seahawks Cardinals teaser, just cross 0 on both games.
I mean, listen, if that's what you want to do, that's like I'm fine with everybody's choices in life as long as they don't negatively like impact me or I think that they're morally like against my judgment in life. Um, which yeah, like every teach their own. Some people cross 0. Some people like to do that in life. Some people like to cross 0. Personally, I think that you're asking to lose that teaser, and therefore I don't do it. So I'm not going to.
Okay.
Saints Bucks.
Yeah. You
Uh, Bucks minus 4.5 open down to -4 right now. Over under drops a bit, opens at 55.5, now at 51.5. Bucks looked a little shaky on Monday night, Sam. What do you got?
did, and as a Bucks better of -13.5, I was not very happy. So this is actually the second Bucks Saints game of the season. The Saints blew the Bucks out the first time, although it was close for the first half, and then the Saints just ran away with it. It was Tom Brady with a new team. Um, Chris Godwin might be back, might not be back. This time the Bucks are at home. Drew Brees outside showed last week a little shaky. I know Chicago is a lot different from Tampa Bay, but rain could be in the forecast. It likes to rain in Florida. I'm a little confused about the line movement on the over under. I will say 62% of the money being on the over with, or sorry, 62% of the bets are on the over with 93% of the money is on the under. So I guess that makes sense on why it dropped 4. That might be another some mortal lock that we have to add. But that puts me at 4, so I'm going to have to discuss with my internal team on which 3 we want to pick. But in terms of a pick on this actual game itself, I think I have to take the Bucks. Just go against general consensus here. I think everyone's going to be on the Saints. So I'm gonna fade the public there and go Bucks. And then under. Joe, what do you got?
Okay. I first of all, I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Obviously, when you get these two quarterbacks in the same building going against one another, it's going to be a fun time. And speaking of that, currently the NFL leaders in total touchdowns, Tom Brady sitting at 561, just one more than Drew Brees sitting at 560. So that's another cool little thing to watch for Sunday night. With that said, based on the first matchup of these two teams earlier in the season, with the Saints taking that one late, Tom Brady not really kind of in that same connection with his offense just yet. At that point, I think that the Bucks kind of come out and I think this is a statement game for this division, and I think that this is yet another like situation where you're like going to be looking at Tom Brady like the latter half of the season being like, God damn it, like here we go again. Like the like Tom Brady's just gonna just roll with everything into the postseason and potentially into a Super Bowl. So yeah, I'm taking the Bucks here. I think that Tom shows up, and I think he maintains that touchdown pass lead in the record books for this weekend.
Cool. I've heard you've gone on this game. I thought I did. About to dive into an explanation of what I think, but I think I agree with you. Next game, the Pats Jets. The Pats opened up as 7-point favorites, are now 7.5-point favorites. The over under opened up at 41.5, is now 42.5. Joe, what do you
got? Both of these teams stink.
Stink.
But the the Patriots did get Isaiah Ford at the trade deadline. So like, are they are
They're
they're
buyers.
buyers? They're buyers. I think with that, listen, again, like I can joke all I want about how bad the Patriots are and how much it brings joy to my heart to watch them fail.
They are
But
still better than the Eagles.
what's that?
They are still better than the Eagles. Just want you to know that.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
If the Bats played in the NFC East, they'd be like 6-2 right now.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. You can't prove that.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just not gonna. I'm never gonna take the Jets. I don't think. I don't think I can take the Jets. So, like ever.
plus 19.5 last week.
No. I flipped in that, saying that I was going to be taken based on the way that I thought the total score was going to be in favor of Kansas City. I took minus 19 and a
Mm-hmm.
half.
So
So yeah, I'll take the Patriots here. I saw that joke going around about how like the Patriots were buyers for getting Isaiah, and I'll ride with the fact that Bill Belichick just refused. He'll talk about like Jerry Jones never wanting to allow his team to give up. Bill Belichick's not going to let his team to give up. He's going to find a way to maybe, just maybe, this division is still in play. It is.
the Bills are 6-2 and have the tiebreaker.
Pats could go on a run, man. You never know.
The Pats are 3.5 games behind the Bills with what? 9 games?
6 games left.
9
9.
for the Pats. 8 for the Bills.
Okay, yeah, so that's plenty of time. Don't worry about it. Your Pats are going to be just fine. You're taking the Pats here. You're
Yeah,
definitely teasing them. You're definitely teasing them.
wow, I have to tease the Pats here. But I do want the Pats to lose this game. I want Trevor Lawrence on the Patriots, and the Bills are their biggest competition right now for the number 1 pick. So Bill Belichick also coming out talking about how like he didn't have enough to work with this year. The team stinks. I mean, he's right that Tom Brady and Antonio Brown crippled them salary cap wise. So he really doesn't have anything to work with. It was surprising for me to see that out of Bill, for him to come out and explain himself because he normally never has to explain himself. So I'm a little worried about. I'm actually a little worried about where Bill's at mentally. You know, he's getting a little old. He's had some questionable in-game decisions during the season, like the challenge versus the Broncos that he didn't do. Also coming out and saying all this stuff. But I still fully believe in Bill. I just don't believe in him this season. I think he is actually trying to lose this season. I think he wants to get Trevor Lawrence. I think he wants another dynasty. And having a rookie QB on a rookie deal that not takes up any of your salary cap space, and then you can go spend elsewhere. I think he will love that. The Patriots are actually in perfect position. The cap might go down. I'm now getting into a Patriots spiel, not about this game at all. Cap might actually go down next year thanks to COVID. The Patriots are going to have $60 million in cap space next year. A lot of teams are going to have to cut players to keep up with the cap going down. I love the Patriots next year. Put it in your future right now for the Patriots next year to win the Super Bowl. It might happen. But in this game, Jets plus 7.5. And then also love the over 42.5. This is a line movement bet, not a football knowledge bet, so you can put it in the bank as a lock. It opened at 41.5. There was 62% of the bets were on the under, and it's still gone up to 42.5. So I like the line movement there. Pats, Jets, over 42.5.
Okay. All right. We'll see. It's going to be fun when like the Patriots go and win like 4 in a row and you're sitting there. You're going to go from being like how you wanted Trevor Lawrence and you wanted to lose every game for the remainder of the season to 4 weeks from now when we record, you're going to be like, I mean, we could make some noise. I mean, we just got to get playoffs.
I'm not a make some noise guy. I'm a we are going to win the Super Bowl or we shouldn't win anything guy.
I mean, yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm a Super Bowl or bust guy.
All right.
Anyway, Mortal Locks time. Just as a reminder for you folks at home, I did go 3-0 last week on my Mortal Locks. That is 3 wins, 0 losses. I am up to a sad 5-5 on the season. Joe, I believe, I hope you did your research during this while we were recording about what you did last week. I think you went 1-2.
I did go 1-2. I don't know what my total is.
I think that puts you at 5-5 as well. Because if I remember correctly, you had 4 wins last week, and we've predicted the same amount of Mortal Locks. So I think you're also at 5-5, but I could be wrong.
That would make sense.
Okay. So we're both at 500, which is not where you want to be as Mortal Lock guys.
I mean, when you think about it, though, like 4 episodes in, this is the fourth episode.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's the first episode.
Yeah,
It's the pilot episode.
Yeah.
I think that's trending in the right direction.
The 4th time we are recording together, first episode of WYG.
What do you got?
Yeah.
Like, what do you got?
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
I'll let you go first because I went second last week and I went 3-0, so I want to keep that good juju going.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. My first Mortal Lock is going to be like a betting on life. I'm betting on life here. I don't understand if you're not fully all over this game and this particular line, then like you're like a sack of shit and I don't want to talk to you.
Oh, I got this. Okay. All right, what makes me happy? It's like, at night, I ride around town in a limousine, partying, having a good time. When I'm on my way home, I pass a bum and take a balloon with some champagne in it, lob it out and beat him. He only gets a little bit in his mouth. He doesn't get the whole thing, not even a full sip of it. And you say, hey, how do you like a taste of the good life, you sack of shit?
So Washington -2.5. You're betting for life. You're betting for life. And as guys who are sitting at 500 on Mortal Locks, we need to bet on life. We need to bet on life.
We need life to come out of us to get us over 500.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, Washington -2.5. I'll take that.
Yeah, so I initially actually had that as a Mortal Lock. I mean, I will be betting it. I've since then resorted to other games as my Mortal Locks because I've just liked the line movement too much compared to that game. But you rest assured I will be betting that game like it's my Mortal Lock. But since I'm only resorted to 3 here, I have knocked it off the list for Mortal Locks. But first Mortal Lock for me is the under 52 in the Raiders Chargers. That line movement, I mean, 4 points to drop like that with everyone still betting the over. That's just such beautiful sight for me to see as a line movement guy. So I will be absolutely hammering that under 52 for the Raiders Chargers.
Okay. All right. I mean, I know that it's written in invisible ink. It's quite faded at the moment in my rule book, but is that something that you would maybe like advise users to put into their teaser?
No, because no.
Okay.
I'm sticking with your rules on that invisible ink.
Well, it's just faded. It's faded. When you see something that you really believe, you might consider putting an over-under in your teaser. But yeah, no, I agree with my point last week. As of right now, it's looking like it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Right. Not worth it.
Not worth it. My second Mortal Lock, I am going to stick with the storyline. Another storyline pick here, and that is Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. The touchdown total. The Bucs having a little bit of a struggle game against a team where they should not have struggled whatsoever. I think that was more on the Giants' resiliency compared to the Bucs' failures. So I think the Bucs come in, and I think that they take this divisional matchup, make it 500 before the playoffs. And yeah, you take the Bucs -4 here.
Yeah, my second Mortal Lock is actually on this game too, just a different bet. I will be taking the under in this one as well, 51.5. This is another game that's dropped 4 points. Everyone's betting on the over still, but the over under is still dropped, and I love when that happens. As I said earlier, just one pick ago. I think here one thing I'm just now thinking about that I forgot to bring up earlier is Sean Payton has practiced against Tom Brady for like 10 straight off seasons because him and Bill Belichick were doing those joint practices. So he kind of knows Tom Brady. I'm not saying that's going to help him enough to get the win here, but I think that does help it keep low scoring, which is why I like the under. And I think Drew Brees outside kind of stinks. So, yeah, I'm taking the under there, 51.5.
Okay. All right. And my third and final, I'm going to go with the like classic, like just don't question it pick where you shouldn't bet against an undefeated team on the road against probably one of the worst teams in the NFL currently, especially with the questionable status that Zeke has going into this one. You're taking the Steelers minus 13.5.
Yeah, I'm going to complete the trifecta and over-under bets this week, and my final lock is the over 42.5 in the Patriots-Jets game. Again, complete line movement game, 93 or like 67% of the bets are on the under, and it still moved from 41.5 to 42.5. So, yeah, that's 3 over-unders for your mortal locks this week from you, boy, and let's go 3-0 again. And you go 3-0 too, so we can both be 8-5 next week.
That would be great. That would be great. We don't have, this is week number 2 of no mortal lock offs.
Yeah, you know what I do like all your mortal lock picks a lot, and obviously I like my mortal lock picks a lot. So I might just sprinkle, like do a little sprinkle, just parlay all 6.
Parlay. I don't know why we haven't been doing that yet.
Yeah, I'm quite confused.
Well, this is the pilot. This is the pilot
episode. It's the first one.
What do you got? I think that I'm gonna ride that with you. I think I'm gonna put like maybe a little $5, $10 parlay on all of our mortar.
My minimum's 25, so I have to do 25. But yeah, it's gonna be a juicy one.
Okay.
And then we'll be the one winning Carlos next week when we win 10K.
Yeah, I love that. Maybe if you ride 25, if that's your unit that you're gonna ride for that, I might ride that unit as well. All right. Well, there.
Yeah, I mean, a quarter of a
unit. What were you saying? Go for
it. Sorry, my internet cut out. I was saying it's a quarter of a unit, but that's what we're going to go with for the parlay.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Awesome. Well, there we go. Pilot episode. What do you got in the books? Hopefully everything works out this weekend. Hopefully that parlay hits and we're able to rejoice with maybe some advertisers next week.
Yeah. WYG. Let's get it.
All right. All right, Sam. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's go.
See you later.